Hi everybody, this is Rebecca Keppel. Welcome to 5 Fun Fave Finds on Friday, which is a YouTube series where I'm highlighting different crafting and other products that I really like at that time. Some are new, some are just new to me, and some are favorite old standbys. I'm going to link up above to the entire playlist so you can check out the older videos, but let's get started with this week's products. So the first product that I want to show you this week are the new Distress Oxides from Ranger Tim Holtz. Of course, the Oxides themselves are not new inks, but there are 12 new colors that have been released, and I have 6 of these new colors. These are the brightest, I think the most fun of the colors being released, and so I grabbed all 6 of those bright new colors. I have Candied Apple, I have Picked Preserves, Abandoned Coral, Wild Honey, Twisted Citron, and Salty Ocean. And some of these were actually my favorite colors from the Distress ink release. So I just wanted to show you, I had stamped the swatches on the left-hand side of the paper, and I'm using the Simon Says Stamp swatches clear stamps there, and I wanted to show you how well these stamp, because of course you know they do all kinds of fun techniques with water and reacting with water and things like that, but they're also just really great inks to stamp with. And because of the combination of dye and pigment ink, they look really creamy, but they dry relatively quickly as well. So of course, you know, they do take a little more time to dry than a typical dye ink, but I just want to show you, it's like they sit on top of the paper. They don't take the time to sink in the way the dye inks do, so they don't stamp splotchy at first at all. They're completely just creamy, almost looking like paint when they sit on the stamp and then on the paper. So you can see the details that you can get with that second swatch stamp there. That is absolutely amazing right from the get-go as soon as you stamp it. So the next thing that I wanted to show you with these new colors is how well they blend. Now, of course, if you've seen my old video, or of course any of Tim's videos, or pretty much anybody on YouTube right now playing with the Distress Oxide inks, they're talking about how well these blend. And these new colors are no different. They are absolutely beautiful to blend. Again, they're just super, super creamy. I'm using the Tim Holtz mini round blender, and just check that out. It is so easy to get rid of the harsh lines in between the two colors just by continuing to blend away. And I am not an expert blender at all as far as regular distress inks go. I love doing it, but it's a lot of work for me, and it's one of those things that I struggle with and have to practice. But these guys, they're just so, so easy to use. I think you would really, really enjoy them if you want to get into ink blending. This is the way to go first. Just check out the spaces in between the two colors where I'm overlapping a little bit, and I am creating brand new colors there because they blend so easily. So you can see in between the Wild Honey and the Twisted Citron, you get some blending going on. Here, this one's really noticeable. In between the Salty Ocean and the Twisted Citron, you get this other green that is created that's absolutely beautiful. And then the last thing I want to show you here is just how you can layer this stamping. With distress inks, everything kind of smooshes together and blends together, but with this, even without a lot of time to dry, I was able to stamp on top. Of course, the most phenomenal thing is the reaction with water, so I use my distress sprayer and spritz a bunch of water on, and immediately you're starting to see that oxidation happen in that blending. Okay, the next product is not actually a crafty item, but I think they're really fun. I picked up this pen set from Anthropologie, and they're just really super cute pens, and they write really well and smoothly. I thought they would be perfect for planners, so I'm going to keep them with my Me and My Big Ideas planner. I'm also going to take photos with them with my planner. I think they're a nice addition for things like that. They have a nice weight to them too, so they feel nice in your hand when you write with them. This is the first time that I'm actually writing with it, so you know, it went smoothly, and it was a really nice pen. And these would make a great gift too, especially for your friends who are into planners. I think these would be really cute going with their planner. So I liked these a lot. The next thing I want to show you is from Waffle Flower. These are their dies. It's called the Sentiments dies, and I haven't broken them apart yet because I just hadn't had a chance to do that, but you can see that what they cut are these thin rectangle shapes, and they're perfect for sub-sentiments or those sentiment strips. And you can see you get 4 dies here in the package. It's a really decent price too. You get a nice long rectangle, slightly smaller than that, and then a tiny one. And you can see here I've cut it out of black cardstock and I've stamped and white heat embossed It's a Decision there on that second size. And I just think it's a really great way to keep your sentiment strips nice and even with a really good trimmer. Sometimes I have struggled with that. Speaking of good trimmers, this is the Tim Holtz Tonic Studios Guillotine trimmer. You have a ruler at the top and the bottom, and then the entire base of the trimmer has grid lines on it, and also popular card sizes and photo sizes as well. So you have 4x6, you also have your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and several other sizes that are marked. And I just want to show you how thin a cut you can get and how straight the line is. Absolutely perfect. So here I am trying to do a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card panel, but this pattern paper, the way that I had sliced into it, it wasn't cooperating, but you'll get the idea that it's very easy to line up that traditional card size in this trimmer and get it perfect. And then I just want to show you again how easy it is to trim teeny tiny little strips off and still get a perfectly straight line. So I'm really liking this trimmer for card making. The next thing I want to show you are the Avery Elle die pockets. These are not new, of course, but I just have been really appreciating them, getting my studio a little bit more organized lately, and I use them for all of my stamps and especially my coordinating dies, but I also use them for just dies alone. And these are great because they're a nice thick quality. They come 50 per pack. They do have a little flap on top, which I usually just fold in. And I wanted to show you the difference between the very thin cellophane and then the Avery Elle die pocket. You can see it's much thicker. It doesn't wrinkle or bend. And so they keep everything really protected and neat and organized in your studio. And you can see I'm getting organized with some stencils, stamps, and dies here. And I think probably next week I'll talk about the label maker because I really like that as well. So that has been this week's 5 fun fab finds on Friday, and I hope you enjoyed checking out these products. If you're interested in any of them, I'll have everything linked down below. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. If you want to comment and let me know some ideas, I'm already working on an adhesive video, which was one suggestion that I thought was awesome. So if you have other ideas, please let me know down below. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a great day.